Come, let us take refuge and generate bodhicitta. What does it mean to take refuge? Well, if it's raining outside and you're not used to the rain, you'll take shelter under an awning. And from a fundamentalist perspective, many contemplatives take shelter superstitiously by invoking the name of Buddha, the name of Dharma, which can mean teachings, and Sangha, which can mean community of practitioners of those teachings. But what if we weren't fundamentalists? What if we weren't given to superstition? What then would we be taking shelter in? Well, Buddha could be a metaphor for mindfulness. Well, have a Buddha nature, an opportunity to notice things, pleasurable or painful, glorious or grotesque. That inherent ability to notice that comes as factory installed equipment for all sentient life forms is our inner Buddha, our mindfulness. Dharma is a metaphor for insight. And insight is a highfalutin term. What we're talking about here is not the pseudo-intellectual baubles of scholars, but the visceral realization, or to quote Robert Heinlein in Stranger from a Strange Land, to truly grok the essence of what's going on. It's not sufficient just to notice it on the in-breath. You must relax in harmony with our out-breath. That is where we are able to truly process things viscerally, intuitively, in a manner not dissimilar to the way we would defragment the hard drives in our computer. We can meditate to defragment our human experience. Sangha, the community of the practitioners, is divided in two: newbies and salty dogs. People who've been practicing for such a long time, they have the ability to help the newbies. Therefore, Sangha can be a metaphor for the highest form of compassion, which is spontaneous compassion. So as liberals, as those who choose not to be superstitious, what then are we taking refuge in? Mindfulness, insight, and spontaneous compassion. We then, if we were to liken our compassion to an umbrella, that's not really useful if we actually open it up. We can unfurl the metaphoric banner of our compassion with the final phrase, "May I master this path for the benefit of all." Well, what then is path? We've discussed that. Path is mindfulness and insight and the compassion they give birth to. What does it mean to master the path? It means that we're able to practice it spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. In Sanskrit, the phrase Namo means homage. So Namo Buddhaya literally means homage Buddha, or metaphorically, homage mindfulness. Namo Dharmaya, homage to the teachings, or homage to insight. Namo Sanghaya, homage to the assembly of saints, or metaphorically, homage to spontaneous compassion. Now, the key to the type of skepticism that is rooted in intellectual integrity, rather than just mere flippant gainsay, just contradicting. The quality skepticism that is actually beneficial doesn't rely on logic or intuition or history. It relies on the crucible of experimentation. When I was just starting off in this path many years ago, I was taught to combine the Refuge practice and the bodhicitta practice with the bowing practice that I'll teach next week. And I found that doing so did not just make me feel energetic subjectively, but when I applied that energy through the force of intention, got more positive results. I remember someone many years ago calling me, telling me their family was bickering. I could hear them hollering at each other in the background. I remember doing a bowing practice very similar to this. At the conclusion, I intended that the application of this positive energy would be for peace to descend upon that household. They called me back, and instead of hearing bickering in the background, I heard laughter in the background. And the person told me that the fight was over and all feelings were mended and everything was well. Now, was that causation or just correlation? I don't know. But those were really interesting results. And so, since I know of no one with a deleterious excess of good fortune, I'm pretty certain that practicing this at least 3 repetitions in the morning, 3 repetitions in the evening will not harm anyone. And hey, if this week you accidentally memorize this, all the better. And by the way, if you forget my explanation of this, it's already written down in ridiculously small print. May you and yours be healthy and happy.